Hey everyone, welcome to Kid Chronicles, the podcast where we explore the awesome world of cybersecurity, hacking, and cloud computing, made easy for kids and teens like you and me. I'm your host, Kenzie Robinson, and today we have an amazing guest who's a real life cybersecurity expert. Let's get started. Can you introduce yourself and tell us what you do in cybersecurity?
Yeah, sure. Hey, thanks for having me on your show, Kenzie. My name is Sean Robinson, and I am the Director of Cyber Regulatory and Compliance for a large insurance company based in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Thank you for telling us that. How did you get interested in cybersecurity and cloud computing?
So my interest goes back to my military career. I started working in information technology in the Army, and as I transitioned out of the Army, moved into various different roles within networking and computing, such as network engineering, and then moving into the network operations and security operations center, and just kind of growing into cyber and cloud over time.
What is the coolest project you've ever worked on?
I think one of the coolest projects that I worked on at my previous employer, I had the opportunity to lead the transformation of our security program. So that program was about a $17 million project, overseeing the selection and build out of all of the new tooling as relates to our security program, making sure all those things were in place. So that was a pretty cool project. Took about a year for that to complete. So I would say that was probably one of the funner projects for me.
Do you need a degree to work into cybersecurity or can you learn on your own?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that you need a degree, but a degree would definitely be helpful to have, right? There's a couple different ways you can get into cyber. Folks are either going to take the degree path where you're going to learn a lot more around the theoretical aspects of cyber. And there's also opportunity for you to take certifications that are going to allow you to learn some more of the hands-on aspects of cybersecurity. So folks have taken that route. I would say having a combination of both the degree and certification are going to be super beneficial for your long-term trajectory into cybersecurity or cloud computing.
What are some beginner friendly certifications or courses for someone like me?
I would say some good beginner friendly courses or anything from a cloud perspective. Microsoft, AWS, and Google, they all have lots of free resources out on their websites as it relates to all things cloud and AI as well, right? Those are free. There's lots of videos. They allow you to set up virtual environments where you can get the hands-on experience. Those are great for beginners like yourself. And also from a security standpoint, certifications like the Security Plus would be very good. There's also one recently introduced certification called the CC, which is certified in cybersecurity. I think that's relatively low cost. It's either free or about $50 to take. So those would be some great introductory level certification for someone like yourself or anybody interested in pursuing roles within cyber or cloud.
Thank you for explaining that. The next question is, what is cloud security and why is it important?
So cloud security is basically the controls that companies need to put in place in order to make sure that their cloud environments are secure, right? A lot of what you would do in a traditional environment where you had an on-premise data center in a physical building that a company owned, you'd have to have those controls in place. There's some uniqueness with the cloud because they have what is called the shared responsibility model, where you as the customer have to understand that there are certain responsibilities for you from a security standpoint versus your cloud service provider, whether that be Google, Microsoft, or AWS, right? So being able to understand those things are going to be critical. And the reason that it's important is because since the pandemic, lots of businesses have transitioned from physical data centers into the cloud because of the cost savings that it provides. So now attackers are going into those cloud environments. When we first went into the pandemic, a lot of things were just put in place, and folks didn't really understand what security controls need to be in place. So attackers took advantage of that as we were transitioning to remote work. So it's critical to make sure that you have those controls in place because attackers can come in and they can steal your data, they can steal money, and all types of things like that. So those are some reasons that it's going to be really important to have the appropriate security in the cloud.
What do you think the future of cybersecurity will look like in 10 years?
I think in 10 years, you're going to see a lot more AI being utilized in security. We're kind of right at the beginning of that, where you're seeing both the attackers and the defenders starting to utilize AI. So I think you're going to see that continue to grow. There's also going to be an increase around what we're calling quantum computing, as it relates to like how data can be encrypted. So I think the field of cyber is going to continue to advance through the use of AI and quantum computing. So in the next 10 years, which I'm glad I will be retired from cybersecurity in 10 years. So I'm glad I won't have to deal with that. I'll leave that up to young folks like yourself to deal with that. But it's going to be interesting in the next 10 years, I would say.
Well, that's it for this episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below for any other topics that you would like me to talk about. And remember, stay cloudy.